For the most part, I want to start with one tip that I'm seeing and hearing about that is sort of ties this all together. First and foremost, remember, Laura did an absolutely fantastic host coaching. That was end of April. And I'll make sure that I drop both links of this recording and that one, because if you haven't listened to that one and you're interested, it is stellar. Secondly, this is a big tip that I'm hearing, Laura, and you can let me know. We dove into super users on Sqwee. We wanted to see how come these guys are so successful with their Norwex business on Sqwee. And so I reached out to some of them, and here's a good tip. They're having a once a month party. So they schedule it every second Tuesday at, say, 9 p.m. their local time. And it's kind of an open party. Some of them are using it as a mystery host party, but some of them are getting so many hosts and customers on that they're creating mega events out of this. So imagine that Brandon ends up coming on the second Tuesday of each month, and now he's got 5 people. Well, he's got enough orders now for a party. And let's say Sue Camp has come on and sort of invited her friends once in a while, and suddenly this open booked regular party turns into sort of a mega event. So I would encourage all of you who are already using Sqwee to decide on a day and a time that's consistent every month so that you can be sharing that party, say for June. It's going to be June, let me make this up, June 11th at 9 p.m. You've set it up in Sqwee. You've got an RSVP set up. Now at every home party, every follow-up phone call, your VIP Facebook group posting, you can be dropping this link in so that if people are not ready yet to host their own Sqwee party, they can come and attend one that you hold regularly. So what we've seen is this introduces potential new customers and new hosts to the idea of hosting their own Sqwee. See, they don't have any pressure because they're simply attending the one you have hosted as the Norwex consultant for the last month or two. So now she's attended a couple times and she's sort of feeling like, oh, I think I could do this. I think I could have my own. Number 2, it ensures that you consistently have a virtual party on your own books. See, if you guys commit to having a regular party for yourself on Sqwee, you have to learn it because you're hosting it. And you're doubling up on sales. What we're finding, Laura, you can attribute to this too, I'm sure. We're finding that no matter how many people show up, there's more sales. There's more sales than if they hadn't had that Sqwee party. And third, it's your regular way to help follow up your customers. So let's, you guys really had good intentions to do follow-up. You really did, but you did none. Well, they come to the Sqwee event. This is now your opportunity to provide value, new product information, updates about something that might be coming up, like our product launch in August. And it allows you to kind of, it forces you, honestly, to kind of keep that market warm and keep that connection going. So I just thought I'd share that tip. Now, as for questions, Carrie Minton asked, she loves setting the expectation. And guys, we'll make sure we point this out with the recording, but she loves the idea of host expectations and making sure the host understands what her expectations are. But she would like to know the best tip for the host that isn't super excited about helping out with the follow-up. You know, she picked a virtual Sqwee party because she thought this would be easy and fast. So Laura, how do we get those hosts working with us to really make the follow-up before and after? Like we talked about follow-up as being an after event. It's not really, Laura. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right, Sherry, that this is a situation where once you're at that point, it is challenging to get past it. So it's really something that you're actually dealing with much earlier in that initial host coaching. And that's where I love the phone, because if you get on your host and you're running through these things and you're saying, hey, so here's what it's going to look like. This is what we're seeing. Many orders come in through follow-up. So, you know, no big deal. I'm going to walk you through that process. We're going to have some messages that, you know, you're going to want to set aside a little bit of time the day after to send out. And you make sure, you know, it doesn't sound like a big deal, and it's really not a big deal. It will take some time, but it's not hard. And so if you're setting that expectation in advance, if they're like, yeah, I don't really want to do that, that before you're getting to that point. Generally, if they aren't willing to do that, I'm just going to let them know kind of the consequence of it. Like it's obviously it's your choice. I just want to make sure I'm doing my best and my job to get you all the rewards. I know you're so excited to stock your home with safe products for the kids or whatever. That's something that comes in very early in host coaching is, why are you doing this? Because just like when we're talking to team members and we need to know why they're in the business, right? We need to know why our hosts are hosting. Because if there's ever that point where they've sort of slipped off track, it's something for us to remind them of, like, that thing still exists for you. That reason still exists. And this is why we're doing it, so we can benefit and get you to that point. If I had someone really push back, and I actually have not, but if I had someone that was just like flat out, nope, I'm not that person, I think I would probably just say, okay, that's all right. Let's go ahead with the party. But I just want you to know I'm going to need a little bit of extra help from you to make sure that people are filling out the RSVP survey. If you can assure them, like, definitely give Laura your text number because she's amazing. She's so helpful. I've really loved her, like some kind of personal testimonial about me. So she's sort of reducing the risk of them connecting with me, right? I'm not a scary person anymore. I just kind of like, okay, if you don't want to meet that expectation here, let's talk about another way we can do that you're comfortable with it. Because if you have everybody fill out that survey and give you that contact information where you're able to take over those contacts, that's ideal, right? Because then it's your network, not your host's network. So if they are able to pour into that where you got everybody, then that follow-up isn't as crucial for the host to do.
I love those tips. I hope that answered your question, Carrie.
Pretty good question.
So actually, we haven't had any other questions come in, but Ruth D is saying that having that host engage on that group chat during this party is key. And Ruth has already started last month doing a once a month team mega party. And this also helps her introduce her consultants on her team to the possibilities of Sqwee. So, guys, hosting one party a month yourself, open consultants on your team and open to your customers or potential hosts, does a number of these things. It helps your new consultants feel like, oh, this looks pretty good. I think I might try it. It helps your customers think, oh, this didn't seem so hard. Maybe I could host a virtual party. And what we're finding, you guys, is people are doubling up. Let me explain this. I explained it on the last call, but I got a lot of attention around it. Double up, meaning Laura has an in-home party. I follow up with Laura and say, Laura, I understand that you were a little disappointed. You had 4 or 5 guests who were unable to come. One's husband got called into work, so she was stuck at home with the kids. One was sick, one worked late. Listen, they were local. It would have been great to have them at a local event at your home in your living room. However, that didn't happen. So let me ask you, Laura, do you have anybody that lives in Minnesota, Florida, Ontario? You're kind of listing all these different locations around North America. And Laura says, well, yeah. Well, Laura, let's work through your Frankie list. Who do you know that you think might be interested in Norwex, but they live too far away for you to host a living room party? So now you work on this Frankie list to get Laura thinking about who does she know. Then you approach it saying, hey, why don't you come to my Sqwee party? It's on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Take a look at that. Like, if she's not right into the virtual party right away, you could invite her to attend, then take her back to her Frankie list as a follow-up phone call after that event and say, let's look at your Frankie list. You have quite a few people, plus those girls that missed your home party. What about we host one? Okay, the other way we're seeing it, Laura, is some people love the virtual party. They're used to partying on Facebook. Now they're converting to Sqwee and love it, but they have moved away from the home party. But let me be super clear. We both know the power of being in front of someone face to face. I call it voice to voice. Debbie Bolton calls it belly to belly, right? We know the value of that. So whether you now take the virtual party, maybe I have a party with Jill Johnson, I have a party with Lindsay Denny, Sidra Murray. I've had home parties with each of them, a virtual party with each of them. And now we talk about how do I get in your living room? And we're calling this the double up because it's the same host. Well, she's having 2 parties, people. Twice the goods, twice the free stuff, and you're getting twice the bookings and twice the sales. Okay, so it's a win-win for everybody. Because we keep hearing, Laura, how do I get started with Sqweee? It's so hard. Really? It's not. And you have a great training video that gets them started in 5 minutes. So I think those are valid. Okay, if you missed the first part, you want to go back and watch the follow-up segment of this training. And coming up next are the new features that Sqwee is launching, the sneak peek, so join us.